Tyler Bogardus. I'm the small vertebrate stabilization specialist for the Army's Natural Resources Program on Oahu. What I do is I protect endangered species, plants, animals, snails, birds from threats such as rats that are invasive on the islands of Hawaii. Hawaii has so many endangered species mainly because they grew up evolved in a system that was void of predators, and we have these introduced predators such as mongooses, cats, rats, mice that were non-native to the system. Every island in Hawaii is affected. They all have their own suite of introduced species that affect the wildlife here. On Oahu, we have pretty much everything: mongooses, cats, rats, mice. My project focuses over on 50 endangered species, and we control rats, mainly rats and mongooses. Some of the species that we're trying to protect are endemic land snails, native plants, and a native bird, the Hawaiian elepaio, the flycatcher, the Oahu elepaio. What we do is these species live in the mountains, and we try to create networks of traps that try to reduce the overall population of the rodent species in the area to alleviate that upon the endangered species. And mainly we use 824 automatic good nature traps that are self-resetting traps that allow us to use a trap up in the mountains that we don't have to go to as often. Currently we're going to go to those every 6 months. In the past, we've also used snail enclosures. We take the snails that are susceptible to rats and we put them in an enclosure that is rat-proof. And they're also susceptible to a euglendina, a native or a non-native introduced predatory snail. And so these enclosures can actually protect the snails from the introduced snail. These enclosures are pretty small, a couple acres, and they have native trees. And we also put native endangered species in some of these sometimes. We determine rodent activity by using an independent monitoring system, and it's tracking tunnels. It involves a card with a piece of that you put peanut butter with ink in the middle, and when rats come in, they eat the peanut butter and they leave their inked footprints on the card. We can go then the next day and we can see how many of these tunnels have inked footprints. And by using that, we can get an index of the relative amount of rats in the area, and we use those to see how effective our management tools are, such as the trapping and other options that we've used before. There's a lot of hope for the resources and the ecology efforts with these new innovative tools that we're trying to use and developing those and really manipulating those and making them as most as effective as possible. We have a lot of there's a bright future ahead. We've been able to really increase the amount of area that we're able to protect, and the more we're able to protect, the more benefit we're going to receive.